The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
So by now, you've definitely heard about The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which is Amazon's newest show. You probably saw the trailer on the Super Bowl. Now, if you go by the news, Lord of the Rings, The Power of the Ring trailer hits 257 million views in the first 24-hour, breaking records. But if you look online to other fans, including other publications, it's a much different story. Fans do not like stupid entertainment. We like dumb entertainment, like Dumb and Dumber and fun movies, but we don't need stupid, pointless entertainment like Lord of the Rings, The Power of the Rings. Like Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. First off, if you don't realize, I have had to stop myself multiple times when talking about Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, because I keep calling it Lord of the Rings, The Power of the Ring. It's a stupid title, The Rings of Power. Isn't there only one ring? Like in the damn line, one ring to rule them all? One ring to find them? And I don't know the rest because I don't watch Clerks 2 enough. You have the same word twice in the title, and it seems a little, lazy. There are a bunch of words. I'm not going to take the time to look up and find you an exact number, but there are even more made-up words from Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, yet you have to call it Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Okay. It's very, very generic, and the show looks very generic itself. One of the things I noticed was just how ugly the show was, and I'm not alone. On Super Bowl Sunday, I was cheering on the Bengals. I was ultimately disappointed, but the Lord of the Rings trailer stuck with me. Now, I know everyone's talking about the multiracial hobbits and this and that, and I do have a problem with that. You have to go with what is in the source material. Nobody has the ability, actually, I'm going to rephrase that. No one has the right to go back and change what J.R.R. Tolkien created. Only J.R.R. Tolkien could have done that because it's his work. Amazon is adapting the world created, but not the story? I think we have a big problem. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. It's not I know we have a big fucking problem in entertainment right now where everyone that produces entertainment wants to sell you on the world of X, the wizarding world of Harry Potter. You can go hang out in Star Wars land. You can go live in the Marvel universe. They're taking that same approach with theme parks, that anyone can go and hang out in the world, and putting it on a movie, which sounds great, open up the doors for everyone to come and play, but there's nothing to do inside because you didn't take the time to fill it with cool toys or fun attractions, aka a story. Entertainment has become so individualized that it takes away the group experience. And what I mean is they're trying to make Lord of the Rings appeal to the social media crowd when Lord of the Rings appealed to the greater scale. It's not my favorite movie by a long shot, but goddamn can I acknowledge an achievement when I see it. All three of them look wonderful. They still look great by today's standards because they were really there. They were shot on film, I believe at least the first two. They look great. They have stood the test of time, and they're as good as not better than any other big budget movie that comes out today. You could rate Lord of the Rings compared to each year's biggest blockbusters, and most people might stick with Lord of the Rings. Maybe not me, but most people. The one thing I have as an artist is an eye for detail. I can see beautiful things clearer than most people. Maybe it's my Hawkeye superpower, I digress. But I couldn't stop noticing how bad Lord of the Rings looked, and I think that's a big problem that we face with entertainment too. We cash in on the IPs, we cash in on the nostalgia, we cash in on the brand recognition, but we don't cash in the money that we need to make the shit look good. Spider-Man No Way Home was a little low on the action. It looked great, but it needed a little more. Lord of the Rings looks cheap and cheesy at the get-go, from the jump. So, what am I supposed to expect? Am I supposed to get excited? Is there supposed to be more that I'm looking forward to? Remember, folks, the trailer is the appetizer. If the appetizer doesn't look great and it's kind of shitty, you're not going to want the main course. And I don't think a lot of people want the main course that is Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. But let's check this out. For a $1 billion show, why does the Lord of the Rings trailer look so cheap? Besides a vast waterfall, a woman dangles precariously from a frozen cliff. As the wind whips around her, she leaps and dives a golden spike into the ice. When she looks up towards the camera, we know an instant that she will be alright from the look of her CGI smooth visage. There is no danger because nothing here is real. The only place our new hero will likely fall is deeply into the uncanny valley. The trailer for Amazon's much-anticipated new series, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, hit screens during Super Bowl weekend, giving fans an early glimpse at exactly what the world's first billion-dollar television show will look like. Yeah! Hold on, I forgot about that part. A $1 billion TV show and you get this shit? I don't know what the rights are. Don't give me this 25% different shit until I hear it from them. But god damn it, $1 billion and this is what you deliver with Lord of the Rings? Again, Why does this show exist? Again, why are they making it? The story's done, the story's told. Oh, we're going to do more in the world. No, you don't. The Hobbit showed that the Lord of the Rings brand is fallible. People loved that trilogy back in the day. People still love that trilogy today, but every time you bring up how great Lord of the Rings is, you instantly bring up how shitty The Hobbit was. That is the follow-up conversation to point A. Now we're going to have a new point. Well, The Lord of the Rings was great, The Hobbit sucked, but this TV show it's terrible. Think of it like this. I'm from the future. Yes, clearly. This is like Star Wars. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is the original Star Wars trilogy. The Hobbit is the prequels. And now we have this expanded universe. And welcome to the sequels, folks. Lord of the Rings fans, welcome to the pain. Welcome to the pain that Star Wars fans feel, that comic book fans feel, that James Bond fans feel, and Ghostbusters fans feel. Lord of the Rings, welcome. You're now just one of the boys. You're no longer the king of kings of IPs. Well, let's be honest, you never were. Star Wars was. But goddammit, you had the respect that no other one had. Now, worth $1 billion, you give me this? Look, Jeff Bezos is like the richest dude on the planet. Bezos, double it up. You can shit make $1 billion. You better get better CGI. Hire Weta, hire ILM. Get everybody. Get your ass out there wiring fruit up on the trees. Do something. This is the precedent that we cannot step back from. If we have these big budget shows on streaming, if they want streaming to be the future of entertainment, then they better deliver quality entertainment in the future. None of this bullshit, no crappy looking CGI, none of this garbage is acceptable anymore. We live in a world where we can have a guy on the internet deepfake an actor and it looks like he's there, to the point where we hire the guy on the internet because the CGI artists fucking suck on Luke Skywalker. That is where we are with entertainment. $1 billion means dick, unless you can create something that the fans want. How many seasons of this show will get? I don't know. But let's talk a little more about why people hate this trailer. It's hard to conjure up a sense of jeopardy when your characters, in this case, Swedish-born Welsh actor Morfydd Clark's young Galadriel, have ended up looking like one of Mark Zuckerberg's creepy, dead-eyed meta-avatars wrapped up in a billowing cloak of special effects. Sure, royal elves aren't necessarily supposed to look human, but you'd think after spending all that money she'd at least look like she has a pulse. Complaints about the overuse of the soulless CGI are nothing new. This September, after evidently learning absolutely nothing from the past critiques, we're all going to get a chance to see what CGI to the power of the $1 billion looks like, with filmmaker J.A. Bayona directing the first 2 episodes. Amazon will have seen fit to spend that mind-boggling amount on a prequel series written by the guy who did the first draft of Star Trek Beyond, and inspired by everyone's favorite part of the original novel, the sprawling appendices at the back. For that outlay, they're hoping to have a Game of Thrones-sized hit on their hands. And let me stop right there for a second. This is Amazon chasing a trend. We're going to have a fantasy series. Game of Thrones is big. We have Wheel of Time now, but we need something even bigger. So they're going Lord of the Rings and they're going to copy Game of Thrones, and I'm curious to see if they fall apart like Game of Thrones. I really don't look at an article talking about a new upcoming series and then they reference Game of Thrones and I get excited. When I see Game of Thrones, I see like the biggest, lamest ending in history. Everybody was on board for that fucking show, including my dearly departed aunt. But goddamn it, even her who loved the show said, Peanut, that ending sucked. Everybody hated the Game of Thrones finale. So many goddamn YouTube channels blew up because all of a sudden they were there when they hated Game of Thrones. And now, here we are with Lord of the Rings. Fantasy in the modern era is dead. DOA, dead on arrival. The scale of Amazon spending is a sign that this is something of a pet project for Jeff Bezos. He's personally a huge fan of Tolkien and incredibly passionate about all of it and very well versed, Jennifer Stock, head of Amazon Studios, told Vanity Fair this month. His desire to be ambitious, and for all of us to be ambitious with our content, he's always been clear from the moment I got here. I'm really happy that Lex Luthor is a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but he's made almost $1 trillion by selling goods and services and starting a business out of his garage. I don't care that he likes Lord of the Rings. That means nothing to me. I don't care that Vince McMahon or Donald Trump or... Actually, what I'm trying to convey is any billionaire that I don't consider to be a genius, like a real-life Tony Stark, I don't really care what their takes are or what their tastes are because they're just like anybody else. You just own a company. Hearing that Jeff Bezos likes Lord of the Rings is great. I, Jeff Hicks, like... Chud, it's an okay movie. Like, are you gonna entrust me with that shit all of a sudden? Oh, you want me to talk about my absolute favorite shit? Well, I love the works of Stan Lee, but they already got that one covered up. I used to like the works of Kevin Smith, but it's really not good anymore. I'm stopping. It doesn't matter that Jeff Bezos is involved. Clearly, that sentiment is supposed to reassure Tolkien fans that the new series will do justice to the author's legacy. I should stop cutting in, but I can't help it. But all this talk of striving ambition makes it sound suspiciously like the inflated price tag is really just another willy-waving exercise from the man who brought us a wildly phallic space rocket. Lest we forget, the show's billion-dollar budget was directly generated by a business which pays its workers poverty wages, saw them pee in bottles during the shifts, and suggests they keep working even as a tornado literally destroys their workplace. What a better way for Bezos to spend all those ill-gotten gains on the grandiose parable about the dangers that come with great power? If Bezos was really that much of a Tolkien fan, he's no doubt familiar with the author's own gorgeous illustrations of his imagined Middle-earth. These picturesque drawings and watercolors in tandem with his novels define the Tolkienesque aesthetic. When the series arrives, fans will be hoping to see more of that and less of the bland CGI and generic action sequences presented in the trailer. There's one illustration in particular that Bezos might feel kinship with. In Conversations with Smaug, Tolkien drew an unaccessibly wealthy dragon curled atop a vast mound of gold and jewels he guards so jealously, joylessly hoarding wealth while impoverishing those around him. It's the part Bezos was born to play. No CGI required. Man, when you put it in that context, it kind of stings. Life imitates art. Bezos imitates Smaug. Actually, Bezos is Smaug. Like, Einhorn is Finkel, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn's a man. Smaug is Bezos. Bezos is Smaug. Bezos is a bitch. Yeah, let's go with that one. Actually, I'm not going to really make any excuses for that bald-headed douchebag. He's the richest guy on the planet. He's the cheapest, most parsimonious bitch on the planet. Look, I actually stopped. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to go on a tirade about Amazon. Do what you want. But I'm done with this video. So, folks, tell me what you think about Lord of the Rings. I get it. I'm a fan of preserving fantasy. I'm a fan of preserving entertainment, pop culture, all of that stuff. I don't like what I'm seeing with Lord of the Rings. I don't like the race swaps. There's stuff in the world that talks about the hobbits, the Harfoots, or whatever. All that stuff is there. My biggest problem with this show existing is that it creates a world that is antithetical to what was created before. My views on this are just like my views on Star Wars. Star Wars is the original film, and I call that Star Wars Prime. Everything Disney and Lucas would build and create has to work with that film in mind. That film is the prime piece, and if that is not always respected and treated as the centerpiece, the jewel, the crown jewel, if you will, then your property really has no value. It has no meaning, because that one most important piece that made it big, you don't value. That's how Lord of the Rings feels right now. It's like the more and more we rely on modern technology to make lifeless, soulless, video game-looking epics that are the antithesis of Lord of the Rings, well, Lord of the Rings loses its value. I'm sorry if this hurts to hear. I'm sorry if you're angry at my words, but I'm not the one doing this to Lord of the Rings. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and stupid people. Entertainment is a crapshoot half the time, but modern-day entertainment is not really as much of a gamble as you'd think, because it's almost guaranteed to suck when it comes from the modern era.